They sure don't make 'em like they used to. Dark Night of the Scarecrow. This is the 1981 TV movie that startled people across the nation during its premiere. Maybe even its reruns. Hell, even maybe when you watch this movie now, it'll startle you like it did myself. For some reason, I always thought at the beginning of this movie, because I had actually seen it, was the ending. I'm glad I was wrong, because this makes for an excellent revenge story. Before we get into it, make sure to like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help this channel thrive and go a long way. And you also get access to kill counts that are not on this channel because of age restriction and copyright. So make sure to head over to that, and as always, subscribe. Alright, let's get into this. The plot. Bubba didn't do it. A mentally challenged man is playing with a little girl. They're having a good time. Then the little girl gets adventurous, sneaks into a yard that is not hers, and she goes to look at a water fountain. But a dog comes and attacks her. Bubba rescues her. But a posse is formed, and 4 men kill Bubba before they get any evidence to put against him, because they just don't like Bubba. Now, mysteriously, they are all dying off one by one. Who is it? Is it the little girl, Bubba's mother, the lawyer, or is it Bubba back from the dead? This is a very unique angle to take a horror movie, especially during this time in the horror movie genre. The main characters are the villains. Getting into it, what starts off as a tragic tale of judgment and assumptions quickly turns into a creepy little horror film from the early 80s. Writer J.D. Feigelson, who also wrote Red Water and Wes Craven's Chiller, had what he described as a really good script. He shopped it around and would get turned down at every angle. He was persistent with one studio, though. CBS, I think. And he asked them if they had read it, or just the front little summary. He even took a guess and asked if his story had said that it was about a scarecrow attacking a town for some sort of revenge. They said it was close to that, pleading for them to read the script. Feigelson finally got what he was hoping for when they greenlit the project. The film works on so many levels. It's intelligently creepy. Technically, we're not supposed to know or are not supposed to be sure who the killer is. Most people will immediately think it's the Scarecrow, with Bubba's soul inside it. But to be fair, it doesn't do anything besides end up in some people's fields just sitting there in the wind with crows attacking it, which kind of defeats the purpose of its presence. Well, not really. Never mind. However, it is those scenes, especially the first time it happens, that really escalate the feeling of dread. It is a chilling image. That Scarecrow perched on the cross, just taunting them. Hi guys. Mind you, it doesn't actually do anything. That's what makes it great. The reactions are perfect. And so are the actors and actresses that slip right into their characters' roles. Harless Hawker, played by Lane Smith from My Cousin Vinny. He was one of the lawyers. Philby, played by Claudia Earl Jones from Bride of Reanimator, he was the cop. And Skeeter Norris, played by Robert F. Loynes, play three characters that have a deep regret of what they had done to Bubba. Ritter, played by Larry Drake. Each scene the trio are in. You can tell they are afraid and on edge. Everything from their posture to their facial expressions. Everything from Harless's deep and terrified eyes to Skeeter's near manic reactions when he can tell his time is coming to an end. And soon. They all do stellar jobs. I especially love the scene where Philby runs out into the field and sees the Scarecrow. He falls to his knees and goes, "Oh God, no, this can't be happening. Not to me." It's well shot, and you can tell Philby is dreading each coming minute of his impending death. The scene cuts right when it reaches its peak of tension. For a commercial break. It shows how well timed and edited this film really was, because that happens in several scenes. Escalated tension, commercial break. Tense scene of dread, commercial break. When you think there can't be anything else to top this insanity or intensity, commercial break. The only one who doesn't seem to feel pity, nor regret, nor remorse for killing Bubba is Otis P. Hazelrig, played by Charles Dunning. He's a miserable, loathing person who hates a lot of things in life. You can tell he despises Bubba. For no reason. It is alluded to that he is mad that he's playing with a little girl because he is secretly a pedophile. And he is upset that Bubba is allowed access to the girl. That is messed up. Speaking of the little girl, Mary Lee Williams, played by Tanya Crow, is a powerful character. Tanya plays her with confidence, yet innocence. She doesn't know what happened to Bubba at first, and tries to go out looking for him. After she goes out, she changes, and becomes very cold towards Otis. She has this attitude that I have rarely seen in any child actor or actress. She acts way more mature, yet is only 10 years old, and still pulls it off in a way that doesn't come off like she's trying to play a little adult. It's dang impressive. The scene where Otis confronts her is creepy in of itself because you know of his intentions. But Mary Lee doesn't talk to him for a while in said scene. She eventually approaches him and whispers in his ear, "I know what you did to Bubba." I do not know why, but that scene always gives me chills and sends shivers down my spine. I've watched this movie at least 3 times now. Mary Lee may be cold to Otis, but she is warm to Miss Ritter, Bubba's mother, played by Jocelyn Brando. Miss Ritter is referred to as Mrs. Ritter, yet she is no longer married. So I don't know. Regardless, she is a great character who could have easily been left in the background. But I am glad she was given a lot to do. Everyone in this film took it seriously. The acting is superb, all across the board. What else is awesome about this film is its aesthetic. If you want to watch a killer Scarecrow film from the 80s and want a fall-time atmosphere, then look no further than Dark Knight of the Scarecrow to put you in that October mood, even though we're reviewing this in January. There may not be tons of different colored leaves and orange filters, but it just has that feeling to it. It takes place near Halloween, so it really works, especially when they have the Halloween party. The gore, the effects. There's a pitchfork stabbing, and that's near the end. Other than that, it all plays on your imagination. That is one thing I do wish was a bit more prominent. We have some terrific setups for kills, but no real payoff. We want to see these people get punished. I mean, I get it. It was an early 80s TV movie, so I can see where corners had to be cut. In a sense, it still works without it. If there were a significantly violent scene, then it could have detracted from the film's overall atmosphere. It's effective, but not effect-heavy. The motion picture soundtrack, it's got great themes and such, composed by Glenn Paxton. However, it sometimes seems like it's in a loop and repeats itself over and over again. Certain instrumental songs play over and over again, as I said. I don't know why I said it again. But they do work pretty well each time. Still, I think there could have been a bit more variety. This is an excellent little thriller. It is old school, and is made in a way that hasn't been achieved again in the past 20 years or so. No jump scares, all atmosphere, amazing acting, well-written characters, great dialogue, and some decent music really add to this creepy little flick. There are some shortcomings, but I think it succeeds in what it sets out to do. Scarecrow. Overall, I give Dark Knight of the Scarecrow a 3.5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I'm Brian Gatto, the horror show host. Make sure to like and comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month, like as I said, will help keep this channel going on strong and make it thrive. The links to those two pages are in the description below, or I'll post them somewhere in this video. And as always, subscribe.